Eyes are windows to the soul, or so they say. Depending on which universe one resides in, that idiom can be taken quite literally. Anime is nothing if not unconventional, but superpowers and abilities being tied to a character's eyeballs is a favorite trope of the medium. Shonen series in particular are fond of giving magical eyes to both heroes and villains. More than a few anime eyes have proven deadly weapons over the years. Anime eyes often do a lot more than just see. Ocular abilities may have their limitations, but can also make for the kind of entertainment audience can't look away from. Today we are going to list out the top 10 most powerful eye abilities. So let's get into it. 10. The Ginko of the Tokoyami, Ginko of Mushishi. Possibly more a curse than a blessing, Ginko of Mushishi is named after the same Mushi that infected him as a child. This infection blacked out one of his eyes but gave him the ability to see Mushi forever thereafter. Unfortunately, Mushi are now drawn to Ginko and his eye, and he must live a nomadic existence or cause trouble if ever he lingers in any one place for too long. Most importantly, these eyes help give the story structure, the protagonist a defined purpose, and the audience a fantastic gem of a series. 9. The Ultimate Eye, King Bradley from Fullmetal Alchemist. King Wrath Bradley is considered one of the most overpowered characters in Fullmetal Alchemist, but the move seems intentional on Arakawa's part. Bradley is a finely crafted villain that fans love to hate and can't help but admire at times. His bout against an entirely equipped army with nothing but a sword remains one of modern anime's most iconic moments. The secret to Bradley's combat supremacy is his ultimate eye. Through it, Bradley can foresee opponents' movements and react accordingly. Tame as this might sound, this advantage proves devastating to anyone unfortunate enough to face Bradley on the battlefield. 8. The All-Seeing Eyes of God, Leo from Kekkai Sensen. Kekkai Sensen is a show that's not afraid to be different. While the series about a band of vigilantes keeping peace in an alternative version of New York City boasts its fair share of shonen tropes, the series forges its own unique identity from the word go. This is a New York that is blended with another dimension, where aliens and monsters are denizens of the city, and the characters are far from average people. Among them is Leo, who boasts a pair of eyes that make him a prize target. Leo hosts the all-seeing eyes of the gods, which allow him to see hidden truths and sometimes even visions of the past and future, as well as allow him to see through the eyes of other people. The all-seeing eyes can even be used to project hallucinations and false visions into the sight of outsiders, often to devastating effect. 7. Erasure, Aizawa from My Hero Academia. Erasure is an eye-correlated quirk that allows pro-hero, Aizawa, to temporarily cancel the quirk of a target on his field of vision. Though incapable of directly dealing damage to the said target, the effects are still profound and almost godly in most scenarios. Aizawa supplements the usage of his quirk with advanced martial skills for maximum efficiency. After tedious trial and error, Aizawa eventually used this quirk to help him become one of the most formidable heroes in the series, and a solid teacher to boot. 6. Byakugan, Hyuga clan from Naruto. Byakugan is an eye technique that is exclusive to members of the Hyuga clan. The term Byakugan roughly translates to the all-seeing eye, which is a fitting name, considering Byakugan's specific strengths. Because the eye focuses on the aspect of sight, it completely excels at it. Members of the Hyuga clan are able to see across vast distances, and sometimes see right through walls and objects. The Byakugan can also do magic if complemented with the clan's fighting style, the Gentle Fist. 5. Geass, Lelouch from Code Geass. Code Geass is a love it or leave it anime, and certainly borrowed many of its more successful story elements from other, better series. Given this, it's not surprising that Lelouch has a lot in common with Light Yagami. After acquiring this infamous eye, Lelouch's fairly quiet life is forever altered. Geass grants Lelouch the ability to control people's minds, but only once certain conditions are met. Eventually, Lelouch uses this ability to subjugate his enemies and establish himself as a supreme leader. Unfortunately, it doesn't make him a more interesting character. 4. Sharingan, Uchiha clan from Naruto. Sharingan is the Uchiha's signature eye. Unlike the Byakugan that exists only in one state, the Sharingan can evolve into a wide variety of forms based on the user's individual experiences. Sasuke's relationship with the Sharingan is bound to be different from that of his brothers. For instance, while most Uchiha clan members only manage to awaken the basic form of Sharingan throughout their lifetimes, the Mangekyo Sharingan and Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan are rare cases that are only awakened a handful of times during the series. 3. Foresight, Sir Night Eye of My Hero Academia. Erasure is far from the only hero in the My Hero Academia universe whose quirk utilizes vision. Sir Night Eye, for instance, bears the quirk Foresight, a powerful ability indeed. Using Foresight allows Sir Night Eye can see the future as though watching reels of film, typically through the eyes of a target he's made physical and eye contact with. And while Naida's ability does have limitations, he can only use his quirk once a day. For instance, the visions he sees are always entirely accurate. This means he sees the future as a terrifying, unmoving object, and he has to vie with that notion before the end. 2. Rinnegan, Naruto. The Rinnegan could be considered as an eye that holds the power of the gods. This eye is the very definition of overpowered, and seems almost unfair even a series where many villains feel way too stacked. Even a taboo like the revival of the dead is nothing but a hitch for the Rinnegan. In the wide universe established by Naruto, the Rinnegan stands as the pinnacle of strength and rarity. Only an iconic villain like Pain can bring out the very best of the Rinnegan. 1. Six Eyes, Gojo of Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen introduced otaku to an all-new eye ability, and it's one for the books. Gojo Satoru is an exorcist and inheritor of the Six Eyes, which allows him to utilize his limitless technique to its fullest extent. And while this may sound like babble to those unfamiliar with the show, this is a stunning ability. Basically, Gojo's eyes allow him to redefine reality, distorting time and space within the confines of a sort of pocket universe. It's a godlike power that Gojo has learned to wield with skill, and it's hard to imagine he'll ever face any opponent who can outwit the power of those omnipotent eyes. So that's it for the video. What do you think? What other characters or powers should have made it in the list? Tell us in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.